Hey guys, what is up? It's MELG here. In today's video, we're going to be having a Last of Us TV show discussion. In today's episode, we will be talking about why Joel was right to save Ellie and kill the Fireflies and doctors. As fans of the game already know, Joel was tasked with delivering Ellie to the Fireflies to help them find a cure for the Cordyceps virus. However, he learned that Ellie would have to be killed to extract the cure, and he refused to let that happen. Some fans have argued that Joel's decision was selfish and short-sighted, but in reality he made the right choice, and here is why. First, the Fireflies and the doctors had no guarantee that extracting the cure from Ellie would work. They were essentially taking a gamble with her life, and Joel was right to be skeptical of their plan. Secondly, Ellie had already proven to be immune to the virus, which means that there was a chance that her body held the key to a cure. Killing her would mean losing that potential opportunity forever. And finally, and most importantly, Joel had developed a deep bond with Ellie during their journey together. He saw her as a surrogate daughter and couldn't bear to let her die for a cause that was uncertain at best. Some viewers might argue that Joel's decision was morally wrong, but it's important to remember that the Fireflies were not the only ones with a claim to Ellie's life. Joel had just as much right to protect her as they did to sacrifice her. In conclusion, Joel was right to save Ellie and kill the Fireflies and doctors. He acted out of love and a sense of responsibility to the person he had come to care for deeply. Really, it comes down to a personal opinion type question. Was Joel right? Was Joel not right? Morally bankrupt, evil, whatever you want to call it, I believe he was correct. I believe that the Fireflies were going to essentially sacrifice Ellie for a shot at a cure. When at the same time, I feel like if they could have just done more tests, done more, I feel like they just went past all that stuff and just immediately said, alright, let's cut into her brain. There were no evasive maneuvers were trying to be taken at all. And I think that they wouldn't be able to come up with a cure. I feel like their numbers were down. I feel like they probably didn't have the people they needed to manifest that cure from killing her. Another thing you got to think about is the fact that they did do this with no consent to a child, right? They knocked Joel and Ellie out. Joel wakes up in the bed and she's in surgery immediately. Didn't tell her anything like, hey, do you want to sacrifice yourself for the greater good of the world? No, none of that. Just went straight to it. I feel like that's a huge issue that many people aren't really mentioning. I feel like that's wrong. I feel like that's morally bankrupt as well. And I feel like Joel's reaction was the reaction of pretty much almost anybody in that situation. If you had a child that was going to be killed for the greater good of the world, except we can't guarantee that greater good, we're just going to try. No, we're not going to try any invasive maneuvers like studying her, testing her. No, we're just going to go straight for the surgery. I feel like a lot of people would probably have that same reaction as Joel. And so that's why I just wanted to talk about this a little bit. I know that everybody's talking about it now, even though the game came out 10 years ago. I think it's pretty cool how a TV show can bring a game or a subject back into the limelight, bring everybody talking about it again. Because that was that's the whole reason of that ending, is to get people talking, to start conversation. I do believe that Neil and Naughty Dog made that ending like that for a very specific purpose, and it was to engage in conversation. And I really like that. I like that in books. I like that in movies. I like that in games. I think it's really cool when a developer or whoever puts something out to specifically engage people in conversation. It keeps the hype of the movie or game going, and it gets everybody's brains kind of like turning. Everybody starts thinking a little bit. I really like that. I think it's cool. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like rating. It's much appreciated. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. I'm going to let this play out the rest of the way so you guys can see the conclusion, watch a little bit more of the clips, maybe come up with a different conclusion. If you do have a different conclusion, comment down below. I'll reply. I'll reply to anybody and everybody, and we can have a conversation about it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.
And make the best of them. They can't afford to kill off their best subject right away, and they should know that.
Our doctor, he thinks that the Cordyceps in Ellie has grown with her since birth.
Why is she in surgery?
It produces a kind of chemical messenger. He's going to remove it from her, multiply the cells in a lab, produce those chemical messengers, and then we can give it to everyone. We didn't tell her, we didn't cause her any fear, there won't be any pain.
No, you take me to her right now!
And let's get to the last part of why the Fireflies are wrong. Consent. They ambushed Joel and Ellie as they were on their way to them and prepped Ellie for surgery while Joel came to elsewhere, adding to his freakout, most likely. Marlene et al. Assumed Ellie would have agreed to sacrifice herself for the cure, but if that assumption was true, why didn't they just ask her? Or better yet, tell her what the option could be, but request that she stay and let them study her alive as they figure it out in earnest. If they asked and she said, yes, I want to do this, like they said they thought she would, Joel probably wouldn't have done all he did. And if that's how it ultimately went down, we would be writing a wildly different story. Who tricks, ambushes, and volunteers a minor for 100% fatal surgery? Assholes, that's who. If they weren't so scared of getting a no, why not get her consent from the jump? And why knock out, disorient, and then tell her guardian, Joel McMurder Factory, with enough time to act beforehand? Gee, what do you think he'd do? The only thing you know for sure he's really good at? Joel was wrong to outright kill the surgeon. For many reasons. But at the top of that list would be that he would likely still be a good choice to help figure the cure out, and the fact that there are likely few surgeons left in the world. But he was right to save Ellie's life because she deserved the chance to make her own decisions, and Marlene was unable to present any actual science to support her kid-killing plan. Sure, there were emotions behind his call, but at the end of the day, he was tasked with protecting Ellie. What would any of us do if a child under our protection was, as far as we knew, about to be killed for no helpful or logical reason?
Let me go. You'd just come after her.
Thanks for watching.